Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to point your guys' attention to a battle royale game on Steam that has gone free to play. It used to be $14.99, still in early access, but the developers have shifted to a free to play model. And Valve has acquired a very surprising studio that created a great game, so I'll talk a little bit about that as well. First, let's talk about this newly free game, and it's actually a game that a lot of you guys have requested me to talk about, and that's Darwin Project. I haven't had this game on my radar until somebody actually mentioned it to me, and it was one of those battle royale games that was going really under the radar. It released back in March, but it did seem like it was having a cult following, but now it has shifted from a $14.99 early access title to still an early access title, but it's absolutely free to play. This is pretty good because I noticed when looking at Darwin Project a while ago when it was still buy to play that the player base was rather small, so obviously it being a multiplayer game, you want a healthy player base at all time, and of course that is doubly the case for a battle royale title. Right now, after the free-to-play shift, there is about 7,300 gamers online on it, which is relatively decent. Obviously, not as big as a Fortnite or a PUBG. PUBG, you've got 300,000 or so players on at any given time, so a little over 7,000 is very small compared to that game, but you've got to start somewhere. And Darwin Project is actually a little bit different than all the other battle royale games. Now, while looking at it, the art style itself is very reminiscent to me of Fortnite. It's got that same more childish art style. I don't really know what to say. Childish kind of sounds like a negative term. That's not where I'm going at. I think Darwin Project is a very visually pleasing game, and better yet, this is a very easy game to run. It's pretty well optimized, even with the system requirements being kind of high. I'll go through them real quick for you guys if you're curious on whether or not you can run it. On the minimum side of things, you're looking at a dual-core 2.4 GHz, 4 GB of RAM, a GTX 750 or a GTX 660. That's a little weird as minimum GPU because I believe the 660 is considerably more powerful than the 750. Honestly, GPUs that old are a bit foggy on me, but I believe that is the case, especially because they list the 750 non-TIs. So make that of it what you will. On the recommended side of things, it is a little bit heftier, a quad-core 2.4 GHz or higher, 8 GB of RAM. The GPU is a 970 or a GTX 1060, so that is relatively higher end. Of course, I have a somewhat decent rig, so for me, this ran really smoothly, but even if you look at a game like PUBG, I have a pretty good rig, and that game is still a pretty big nightmare to run on my PC. So Darwin Project, definitely give it a look. I think it's a game that will interest you. So as far as combat goes, it's rather fluid, it's pretty satisfying, and it does have a different take on the battle royale genre than all of the other ones that are coming out, which I think is absolutely essential for a battle royale game. Look, the market is going to be absolutely flooded with these by year's end, so you have to differentiate yourself even the most little ways you can, whether it be from visual style, gameplay nuances. You have to alter the formula at least a little bit for these games to survive, and Darwin Project is different enough where I feel like it's rather engaging if you are into other battle royale games as well. I know this genre to some of you guys, trust me, I've read the comments, you guys are getting pretty tired of it, but there's a large user base out there that are completely invested into these games, so I thought I would mention that. And as the game is going free to play, now everyone can jump into Darwin Project. Again, it is an early access title, but give it a look. Moving on from that, I also want to talk about Valve real quickly and a surprising move on their end. Now, Valve, of course, the mastermind behind Steam, and they've crafted some of the best games of all time, such as Portal, Left 4 Dead, Half-Life, but recently, as far as creating new and exceptional games, they've been absent from that. It doesn't seem like they're too much into game development. However, in a very surprising move, Valve has bought the studio Campo Santo. Now, if you don't know about Campo Santo, they are famous for one game, and a game that actually garnered a lot of attention back in 2016, I believe, and that is Firewatch, a very story-driven game, but with some great visuals. It's got this watercolor look to it, and it looks great. The story's really solid, although it did have a rather unsatisfying conclusion. I don't know if they're planning on creating another entry. I really hope they do, but this is a very surprising pairing. Like, out of all studios that Valve could have purchased, Campo Santo is kind of a weird one. Now, this news came out, and then Campo Santo officially confirmed the news by saying this. They said that Valve became, quote, an obvious match to the studio, and that both sides spoke about our values and how when you get right down to it, we as human beings are hard limited by the time we have left when it comes to making the things we care about and believe in. They asked us if we'd all be interested in doing that, and we said yes. Again, it's been a while since the release of Firewatch, and we haven't heard any confirmation about Campo Santo's next project, whether it be a Firewatch 2, whether it be a brand new IP. But now that they're owned by Valve, obviously the financial worries are not going to be an issue. Real issue becomes, what is Valve going to task them to do? Are they going to create a new game? Or is this something of the case where the studio is completely dispersed into doing other projects? Now, it does state that the studio is relocating to Seattle quite soon, so hopefully we hear some news on what Campo Santo is working on in the future. I think more so than Campo Santo Santo itself, I think gamers want to know, where's Valve's mindset at this point? Are they still interested in creating new games? If they're acquiring studios like this, you would think so, but the last few years have left me questioning that. So that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you gonna check out Darwin Project? Again, absolutely free to play. And by the way, if you did pick up the game, you can either get a refund no matter how long you played the game, no matter when you bought the game, so you can get a refund. Otherwise, you'll receive the Founders Pack containing a lot of in-game items, so you have that as well. For those of you that never played it, again, down from $14.99 now to free. Check it out. You might have some fun with it, and let me know what you think about Valve buying Campo Santo. Do you think they're getting back into game development, or do you not put too much stock into this news? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comments as well, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.